Yeah, just err on the side of caution. That's basically it. You just really need to err on the side of caution. Yeah, you got to be careful there. So I like thinking about it and having it in the forefront of your mind would be great. I wouldn't say just like not with anybody. I mean, it's not really your fault if you make your like intentions known and you're not like using your position and power to like get stuff out of people like that. Then I mean, kinda whatever. But here, let's see. Yeah, here, do y'all see this? This is from Ethan Klein's YouTube channel called Ethan Klein. So I'm sorry, guys, this needs to stop. I just wanted to see what was going on here because I saw other people saying that this may be a peculiar video from the guy. The camera angle, yeah, but it's like his thing, you know? Like this, the icon for his channel is him like giving himself like a quadruple chin and like looking weird at the camera. That's his thing, you know?
Here I am, guys, doing my first ever cell phone video. This has never been done before. In fact,
is this guy?
I'm out here on vacation with
Is this guy in the house in which they filmed? Is this guy like chilling in the house where they filmed The Shining? Is he in that cabin? Is he in the Shining cabin? It's crazy.
Everyone's asleep. And listen, I had something on my mind. So I said, hey, I got a cell phone. I think I could just upload it directly. And I got something I really want to get your guys'
Here's drama.
I tweeted out something today that was in effect saying something like famous men should not have random sex with anyone, especially fans and when alcohol's involved.
I mean, like, so it would be like cool if they didn't do it like with fans and everything. Like the whole like I'm a rock star. Let me have sex with a bunch of random fans. Probably isn't cool. It could probably lead to a lot more problems than it's worth. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I'm not sure if it literally cannot be done at all. But you need to be really careful about it. Personally, like I've said on stream that I really don't like to drink with like dates anymore, because some of those girlies can go kind of nutty, and then you're put in a bad position where you're like. Especially if you like expected to like do something later, if they get drunk like then you're like, oh man, now you're gonna have to like be their like DUI officer or something to see if like they're actually like fit enough to continue on or not. But even having to think about that in the first place probably lets you know that you're in a bad situation to begin with, especially if they're the ones drinking and they're a fan, so they like obviously want to do something a lot of the time anyways. Yeah, just err on the side of caution. That's basically it. You just really need to err on the side of caution. Yeah, you got to be careful there. So I like thinking about it and having it in the forefront of your mind would be great. I wouldn't say just like not with anybody. I mean, it's not really your fault if you make your like intentions known and you're not like using your position and power to like get stuff out of people like that. Then I mean, kinda whatever. But here, let's see. It's not just for the woman's safety, but your own. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like it's for both of your safety, you know. I personally don't want to like do that with somebody who is too intoxicated to say yes, and they probably don't want to be assaulted. So, you know, it's not doing it is kind of a win-win if you think about it.
And there was some people that agreed, obviously, but there was a lot of people I saw this comment. Well, what's the point of becoming famous then? And that kind of begs the question, like, well.
Who said that?
The reason you're becoming famous is
me personally. I started my Twitch stream to have sex with more women. That was the main driver behind becoming a political Twitch streamer and YouTuber, was to have sex with many women, 100%. Specifically, girls with blue hair and pronouns, and they thems with red hair and pronouns. It's crazy. The date mindset, yeah, 100%.
For the sole reason of having lots of random sex with women, that's going to be a problem. And listen, I'm saying this, man. I'm having friends who are being basically doing horrible things, right, and getting called out, and it's happening way too much. This is happening.
Andrew Tate, he's friends with Andrew Tate. He's doing horrible things and getting called out. That's so sad. It really sucks when like personal and public matters coalesce like that. I really do hate that. Oh, you're right. He is kind of friends with Justin Roiland too, isn't he? Man, it's been 2 Man, it's a bad day for Ethan's friend group, huh? Friends with Justin Roiland. that comes out as a woman smasher, woman beater, friends with Andrew Cullihan, comes out as a potentially giga woman abuser. He's actually having a bad time. Yeah, Andy's on vacation. Damn, can't imagine. His friend group just got like cut in half or something.
Way too much. And I think to myself, how is it that there's so many men, famous men, who are still doing this shit despite knowing that that this is a problem, that it's going to come out, right? And that you can't fuck around, you can't make mistakes like that. And yet people are still out there being scumbags.
I really think it has to do with them just being like guys, you know? They're just like people, you know? I think that's kind of basically it. You know what I mean? Is that they're just kind of people. They're not, I don't think they're like special people because they're famous or anything. It's just like, they're just like normal guys, especially if you get popular off of something that you do and you weren't like super popular beforehand. Like you weren't like super cool or super popular beforehand, or you're not used to anywhere near this type of attention beforehand. You can let it go to your head and you're like, oh my gosh, I am like a little rock star, you know? Yeah, you have like girls come just walking up to you and being like, hello, I would like to have sex with you. Can you imagine the world? Can you imagine like this is an unironic world where a lot of these guys live, where you'll like grow up through your ones and teens and 20s, and you'll be like 26 now, and just be like, without a YouTube channel, you'll just literally be some guy, right? Maybe even below average some guy. And then like a group of girls just walks up and goes, hey, we saw your YouTube channel, can we suck your dick? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. To go from one life to the next in the matter of, you know, depending on how fast a lot of these YouTube channels blow up, like a year, like it can go kind of crazy. I can imagine it. That's not saying that, you know, they're not responsible for the things that they do, but I feel like we think that we know and we're better people than we actually kind of are, because we've never been put in the situation where we've had to like actually say no, or like make a choice, or like think about, you know, measure like what you want, measure what you want against what you should be doing, you know? Chuck explaining this video finally broke me to a girl on Tinder. If I had girls on my Instagram page, I have my YouTube channel link in my Instagram bio. And so I know 4 or 5 girls have like clicked on it to see my YouTube channel, but they've never mentioned it to me. But I know for a fact they have. Like you don't like, especially if you're like trying to talk to somebody, like we all stalk each other's pages a little bit once you start talking, or even before you start talking. And so like I know they've clicked on it. I haven't had any of them go like, wow, your YouTube channel, wow, which I'm happy for.
And it just makes me think, like, if you're a famous guy, I hate to tell you, but I think the one night stands, I think it's got to be out. And the reason I say that is to protect you from doing something horrible to somebody and doing something you'll regret. And it seems that there's a high enough percentage of women who are regretting these hookups, who feel coerced, who feel like they can be manipulated into doing something they don't want to do.
Women be feeling coerced.
And I just keep seeing the same story over and over and over again. And it's like, what are we going to do about this? Because you would think that something would be changing by now, but it's like the same headline over and over and over again. I think that famous men need to stop having random hookups. It's just a recipe for disaster and pain and hurt.
He looks stressed. I would imagine he's stressed. He now has two people in the last week who he's considers himself close to be accused of abusing women. The only way this could possibly get worse for him, honestly, is if like somebody on the crew was accused of like abusing some girls on during like meetups or whatever, or like you know, God forbid, Post Malone, not Posty. So yeah, I can imagine it. Yeah, or Hassan. I think Hassan's already been accused of doing something cringe, not illegal, but what was it? It was like having sex with like some like 18-year-old or something, even though he's like 32. What was it? Does anybody remember? The prostitutes in Turkey? That was a lie. Was it a lie? He got with a 19-year-old when he was 25. Oh, was that actually it? That's so funny. That's it? I thought it was while he was like 30 or something and he got with like a 19-year-old. I thought that's how bad it was. Or at least like it felt a little bit worse. It's literally nothing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just like, you're 25 and you like hook up with a 19-year-old? Bro, who cares? Okay. I knew there was some rumbling about it. I'm pretty sure it was just like put up by a bunch of like Hassan haters, if that's the case. He ain't beating the cringe allegations though. Yeah. But the 19-year-old friend said she was 16. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that girl just straight up lied. Oh yeah, some woman just like lied about Hassan to call him like a pedophile or something for fun. And then they brought up the receipts that it wasn't true and then she kind of skedaddled. Isn't that right? Something along those lines? Crazy. Anyways, I mean, I feel like there could be like some questions that you ask. I feel like there could be like some things that you do to make it a little bit safer to not have you just like say no to all like hookups whatsoever if you really don't want to. But I feel like you're gonna have to put a little bit of work into it. And at the same time, I mean, I'm not sure how applicable this actually is to the situations that happened. You know what I mean? Like, was Andrew Cullihan's problem that he was just having a lot of hookups as a famous guy? Because I feel like that wasn't the actual issue. You know what I mean? I can like, so I'm not saying that like Ethan's like doing something bad here. He could just be like being overly precautious. I just don't think that like having casual hookups as like a famous guy was the issue going on here. It seems like instead it was actually how he acted during those hookups and to get those girls into the position to put his penis inside of them in the first place. You know what I mean?
And it's gonna fuck it's gonna fuck your life up too, right?
No, my
It's just not worth it.
My fuck.
And so this comment comes up like, what's the point of becoming famous then? Well, then therein lies the problem. If you're becoming famous to sleep with a bunch of women, well, that used to be cool. And that used to be a reason to become famous. But now you can go ahead and do that, but it's going to come out and you're going to hurt people. And you're going to end up sleeping with people who were influenced by, who either a fan of yours, who were too drunk, who were influenced by your power and aura and just general fame.
Anybody up in chat being influenced by my power and aura, I would like for you to leave. I'm sorry. It must be done. It's time to cull. It's time to cull the herd. I'll see myself out. Ow!
And so I feel like with fame and power,
I did get Splatoon 3 because of you. Yeah, but Will, was it a good purchasing option? Do you feel like you got your money's worth after buying Splatoon 3? Yee? Well, there you go. It seems like my power and influence may not be that bad after all. Benevolent power, benevolent influence, a magnanimous aura.
Giving up of responsibility. Or there needs to be some more acceptance of responsibility.
That Voidigo, that's a great game.
Like with the power, with the money, with the fame, you have extra responsibility as a man to take extra care with your sexual partners because, listen, the truth is that women have been used and abused for a long fucking time. And it feels super weird that men are now having to be held accountable for what they're doing.
True, but also I have to say something. This could come off a little controversial, but I feel like it's also true. Remember when we were going over like the original Andrew Cullihan stuff, and one of my big things for when it came to why I believe that a lot of this stuff, at least, well, it happened maybe not exactly as they explained, but like because I don't know exactly what happened, but it like something pretty bad happened. Like his behavior was quite off to the point where he was hurting like girls. Was the fact that what he was doing wasn't too off-brand for just what you would imagine a bad situation with like a normal dude who doesn't understand, you know, consent that well would do. It wasn't like a sort of like him wearing like a supervillain suit, dropping down from the rafters at a bar in front of some random girl and going, "Hello, female, I will now assault you." You know, it wasn't something insane like that. It's something that I could imagine like just like honestly your average guy kind of doing, and honestly by accident even as well. Doesn't like say that they didn't do something wrong, but I can see that happening. A lot of girls also just don't know how to say no to things that they actually don't want. And it could be because of like a couple of reasons, because we don't like teach women to be like super confrontational or anything. And being confrontational with men as like a woman can be pretty bad. But yeah, like sometimes people don't know how to express exactly what they want. A lot of guys can too. So like I know I've heard this from like bi guys, all right? Especially when like interacting with other guys. Like if you've ever had a time to interact with other guys, I've heard them say that they've noticed how pretty pushy and demanding other men can be in the way that they'll try and get you to do something that you actually don't want to do. And if you're not the type of person who's comfortable really, really standing up and being like, I'm not doing that, like something that you actually don't want to do, and you could possibly be like worn down, you can put yourself in a bad situation. You can put yourself in a bad situation. Not to say like anything that happens there is your fault. I'm just saying that if you're not able to actually stand up and say no like that, then you can be pretty easily taken advantage of in that situation. Andrew was extremely aggressive. I'm not talking about Andrew here. I'm not talking about like the girls in Andrew's situation. I'm just talking about just people generally. How people, like, I mean, like, is this really controversial that in a sexual situation, especially if you've been like driven out or like taken care of by somebody, and then you get back to like their place or something, and then they ask you to do something that you don't want to do, that people find it hard to say no? Like, people find it hard to say no to people just generally in public when they ask them to do something in the first place? No, not at all. Yeah, that's literally what I'm saying. So if you like want to do like hookups or something, and you want to do one night stands or something, I feel like you actually should be one of these people who can actually do that. If you can't, then you're putting yourself in a bad situation and you're more likely going to get hurt. Not to say that the people who will hurt you are like good people or they don't deserve to be like put in prison or something. You not being able to take care of yourself doesn't mean that it gives people carte blanche ability to harm you without any repercussions. But if you can't protect yourself, then you're gonna get hurt. In this, I don't know, like what I've seen is just like, it seemed like a lot of girls have a hard time with that. And sometimes for like very valid reasons, and for some mixed reasons as well. And sometimes it's their personality, and sometimes it's what we hammer into them. It sucks, but yeah. But yeah, you could feel, so what I'm saying is that there are like, sex is just complicated, and interpersonal relationships are just super complicated. So yeah, you can think that you're okay when actually you were being like super pushy, and you kind of wore them down a little bit when you weren't, when you didn't think so. You just thought you were just like you just thought you were being confident or like knowing what you want, when in all actuality you were being pushy, and now they feel like they should say no, else you'll like, I don't know, pick them up and throw them across the room and shatter their spine on the wall or something unconsensually. There's also social expectation that men are always up for it, which really makes it awkward to turn women down. Yeah. And a lot of girls, if you like turn them down, they'll like call you gay or something. which does actually happen. So that also sucks. They take it very personally. Yes, they do. Yes, they really do. They take it quite personally. When they it's just like, here's a taste of rejection. Girly is what we experience every day, brother. But it's just like, they'll like get out of their comfort zone and they'll ask, and you'll be like, no thank you ma'am, but I appreciate it, I hope you have a great night. And then they'll like call you gay. It happens. It does really happen. And they could like push, and they could put, or that you could just get groped, or it could just be like a girl who's like, oh yeah, he won't say no, I'm hot anyways, and then you'll just get groped. You know, that's happened to guys before as well. I think Hassan's talked about that before. Personally, I'm not, it hasn't happened to me, but you know, it has happened to other people. I call men gay if they accept me. Damn, you're like, got him.
The truth is that women have been used and abused for a long fucking time. And it feels super weird that men are now having to be held accountable for what they're doing. And y'all, I guess, aren't ready for that. But I'm just saying, you're not going to get away. You don't get away with it anymore. So like, this advice is as much for the men, you know, it's for the men to protect themselves and to protect the women.
Listen, my daddy said, treat young girls like your mother. My mama said, trust no hoe, use a rubber. And so you have to remember this, okay? It's two sides of the same coin. All right, you have to treat them well, but also not You can't trust them all. I made a little tweet about this, okay? I was like, women are dangerous and men need to be more scared of them, which is true. It's true. I'm sorry. A lot of guys think like women are just like these little creatures that cannot harm you. They can. They can harm you a lot. It's true. And you can get in a lot of trouble. It's true. You do have to protect yourself around women. And I think guys should do it more. Factual and accurate. I'm already scared of women, Shark. Good. Good. Honestly, good. That should be actionable. Now protect yourself. All right. Treat them well, but also protect yourself. That's all I can say. People going crazy for a single Denzel Curry reference.
I'm saying you got to meet someone, get to know them a little bit, make sure that you're both sober and that you've got enthusiastic consent. Because it's just not worth it. I don't think a lot of these guys doing this necessarily want to be hurting people, right? I think they get caught up in the moment. I think they probably have a lot of regrets about how they acted. I don't know, though. Maybe I'm assuming too much. I don't know, right? I don't know how these people...
Yeah, I don't think, from what I've seen from Andrew, I don't think that he was just going around, like, creeping up girls' walls on goddamn all fours like a bug, waiting to pounce on them type thing. I think he was just kind of, like, super pushy and didn't know and doesn't know boundaries, really. Which means he probably needs, he needs to go to some, like, counseling. He was, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Well, actually, I'm not sure if I can necessarily say that he wasn't a creepy crawly when two women said that he tried to follow them home on 2 separate occasions. And so he was like a little creepy crawly. I'm not gonna lie. He was like peering through the shadows. I'm not, I can't say he wasn't, but yeah, I don't know.
People feel
Spider-Man of sexual assault.
But I do know that there's a lot of victims of women who are in the wake of these famous men,
victims of women
being traumatized,
victims
being abused,
who are women,
having lots of regret, being coerced. So what do we do about it? I mean, if you're a famous man coming up, you can't do it. I mean, it's too risky. I think the dynamic of you being famous and powerful and then being a fan and knowing who you are, it's too powerful of a combination. So like, you can't exploit that. It sucks, right? It sucks because you can't go out there and be a rascal and fuck everyone. You know what I mean?
Wait, can I hear this one more time?
I think the dynamic of you being famous and powerful and then being a fan and knowing who you are, it's too powerful of a combination. So like, you can't exploit that. It sucks, right? It sucks because you can't go out there and be a rascal and fuck everyone. You know what I mean?
Can I hear rascals in chat?
Which is like apparently the dream of men. That's why they become famous. I didn't know that. I mean, I know that there's like dudes out there, but I find that odd that like you become famous just for that.
I spend too much time in my room to leverage my YouTube channel to have sex with women. So personally, I'm kind of vibing. Personally, I'm just kind of like the best streamer if you think about it. I'm more of a rapscallion. Ah, a little bit of a vagabond. Drew the creepy critter. Me being a little scamp and sexually harassing people. Not a scamp. No. You little scamp. You little rascal.
So it's just like, okay, bro, that's really it. That's all there is to life.
This meme is very real.
Then what about the money?
Yeah, you're not getting away with it. Take him out to dinner. Get to know him a little bit. And then you got guys who travel around, right? Who
I do think so. Here's my thing. I'm not all on like consent contract type thing. But I do think if you meet somebody, I don't know, if you're like a Twitch streamer and you meet somebody who, who's like, hey, I've seen your stream before, and you like start talking a little bit and you all like each other and you think that you may want to do something later. I do think that you should probably, if that's the case, then like, I think at bare minimum, you should at least have the conversation that's like, have the like parasocial talk. It'd be like, this is, like, I'm not sure if you're like a fan or anything, because people can lie and do lie to get closer to you. Like, you should be like, I'm not sure if you're a fan or anything. Like, if you are, like, this isn't going to go any further here. Like, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't have like a whole script or anything. Once again, this has never happened to me, and I hope that I won't have to go through it, but yeah.
Go city to city. I don't know, man. Jerk off. I don't know.
You know what? This should be a soundbite. I still do wish we had I still do wish we had a soundboard.
City. I don't know, man. Jerk off.
That'd be great. That'd be a great soundbite.
I don't know. Just beat off, bro. Get
Jerk
some
off.
Hotel porn. I know it's expensive, but you're rich.
Porn.
Hell, even get a prostitute. Well, I think that's fine, right? I mean, at least you know what's going on there if you hire.
That's illegal. I think what you meant to say, that's illegal. Ethan, prostitution is illegal. Buying sex is actually illegal in the continental United States. I think what you meant to say was acquire an escort and then you go on a paid date with them and then you may have sex later, but that wouldn't be a part of the purchase. I don't know, man. Jerk off. Why is that room padded? That's what thank you. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this place is crazy. There's like a criminally insane, like padded room cellar turned into a mini mansion. You're a prostitute if you're in Amsterdam. Crazy. It's legal as long as you film it. You know what? That's true. That's pretty true.
What the solution is, but what's happening right now is not working. It is not working.
This house looks like it smells like grandma.
So I don't know if this was a crazy tweet. Is this a crazy thought or a sane thought? What do you guys think? Because I'm getting sick of seeing this happening. I'm getting sick of seeing people that I did respect have their lives and careers ruined because they couldn't keep from being pervs. And I'm sick of seeing young women who are being traumatized because they're being coerced into doing things they don't want to do. What the fuck is going on, dude? Somebody's got to figure this shit out. Ugh.
Oh man, this is on the back of that Justin Roiland like Rick and Morty like shooter game just released, right? What's it called? I think I have Steam up, don't I? I do. What's it called? It's here, isn't it? Steam was just promoting it, right? High on Life, is that it? Is this it? This isn't it. Oh, this is it. Yeah, this just came out. It with the stuttering gun. Wow. Hey, what happened to Royal? He allegedly like domestically abused some woman in like 2019 or something. Yeah, this just came out. You will not laugh. It's crazy because it's 91% updated. 91% update. That's crazy, isn't it? A 91% update on this game. I thought this game was going to flop hard. Apparently it went crazy. Apparently this game went nutty. He pled? What, he pled guilty? He pled guilty? It's not allegations? Huh? I thought the case was still going on. Rick, Dick, and Morty. Anyways, the game company that he had apparently quietly settled a sexual harassment lawsuit in 2019. So this apparently goes crazy. So apparently the Roland, him and his companies may not be treating women that well. Also, I haven't seen that he pleaded guilty. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's true. Actually, I don't. Now that I'm saying it, I actually don't think that's true. I actually think from what I remember us reading, it's a sealed document at the moment in which like about domestic abuse where he is being charged with a felony domestic abuse. That's what I remember. Anyways, yeah. So there's this stuff. Crazy. Activision moment. Yeah, Activision Blizzard. Were they drinking breast milk again?
But it's not. Shit is changed. It's different now. You can't go out there and just fuck everybody. I think men need to realize like what a powerful thing sex can be.
This meme is very real.
You have to respect
anybody
the
up
power and the emotional
sex?
Connection that happens there and how violated somebody can feel who like offered you up their body in that sense only to be kind of like discarded or used or to regret it. There needs to be some understanding of that. And I'm not being a prude, right? Like I'm cool with casual sex. I'm not like a puritanical. I don't think people need to get married or anything. I mean, fuck on the first date. I don't care. I'm just saying there's a specific issue with famous men. Because there's a magnetic pull that you need to be accountable for and that you need to treat with a special care.
A magnetic pull. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just like people can take sex very seriously, you know? I don't have sex by having anything put inside of me. So I guess I don't really know that end of it. You know, I guess for guys, we can feel a little disconnected from it in ways that women and bottoms don't really, feel differently about. I can imagine. You must respect everybody. Yeah, you just gotta respect them. You know what I mean? You gotta try a little bit harder, just a little bit harder. I feel like a lot of these problems that came up wouldn't have been such bigger problems if they would have just like asked questions. You know what I mean? If just like ask question, how do you have sex, Shark? Please detail. You casually walk up to the person who you would like to partake in sex with, and you go, "Hello, pardon me. I think you're very pretty. Would you like to partake in sex?" And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they say no. And then you do it right there at that very moment. Be excellent to each other. Absolutely. Is asking questions though, gang? Sure, but like I personally thought, and this could be just because I am an adult with an almost fully formed brain, that I think part of asking questions is caring about what the person like has to say in response to your question. So I think that's part of the question asking process. Like if that's the case, then like, okay, just you can ask whatever question you want, as long as you can do whatever you want to people, as long as you ask them a question first. Even if it may not even be like you're just like the sexual assault Riddler, where you just like sneak into people's homes and then you ask them increasingly crazy questions and then you assault them and then leave, I guess, if that's the case. But personally, I think like the answer that somebody gives to your question is very important to the question asking process. The diddler. Yeah, there you go.
And it's in a way, maybe this isn't a good analogy, but like if you're a trained martial artist, world champion, you know what I mean?
Like, anybody a black belt in coochie eating?
Like 3-time black belt, you know how to kill a man with one punch. If you get into a bar fight, you cannot unleash your full fury, because if you go for like a neck throat punch and they end up dying, guess what? You're going to fucking jail. Whereas if it was someone who was untrained, you could, go crazy. You're not going to kill the guy, right? You can fight with all your passion.
Go crazy.
You don't have to worry about holding back. But if you have the potential to kill someone, you know how to do it, and you can do it easily. You don't do it, right? And that's common knowledge of people who are highly trained martial artists. They know that. And in a way,
I think I kind of get what he's getting at. I think I get what he's getting at. If you have more power than somebody in a situation, you gotta like take care not to go crazy on them, especially if they're untrained, or they have less power, because you can like just blow them out of the water.
Again, I don't know if this is a stupid analogy, but it's kind of the same thing, right? If you're famous and powerful and you go out,
yes, you can actually kill somebody. Yes, it's not like the best analogy. That's what I'm saying. I get what he's saying, because you can just like slap somebody against the jaw and their like shitty little brain will rattle like a goddamn maraca, and they'll fall like 5 feet 6 inches, and their skull will crack itself on the pavement, and then they die. That's very possible to happen. Yes.
Have this age. Howdy. You have this magneticism. People are going to be more pulled to you, especially fans of yours. Yeah, and so in the same way,
you guys wouldn't be pulled to me.
You've got to be careful with what you've got there. Does that make sense? What do y'all think? Is it crazy? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know. What I do know is this is one shot, one take. I'm going to upload it to my channel. And if y'all got a problem with it, please don't unsubscribe, because I cherish and need every single one of you. I'm sorry. If I said something wrong, I'm sorry. And I love you. Please don't hate me. I didn't.
Do not unsubscribe. Do not unsubscribe. Well, what do you think? What do you think, everybody? Any thoughts? I would love to know your thoughts on this. Any ideas? Who's this guy anyway? The H3 dude? He is the H3 dude. That's true. I think you need to have a little bit more discipline as a public figure. Personally, I think that's true. So yeah. You did creepypasta back in the day? What? No thoughts, only gaming? Okay. Sounds about right. Seems about right. Sounds about right. There was something going on. I wanted to take a look at. There was something going on. I was trying to find it, but I can't find it at the moment. It was about this again. I think some people were like really disagreeing with what Ethan had to say in this video, if I remember correctly, but I'm not necessarily sure. I thought I saw some stuff. Yeah, here. I think some people disagreed with some of this. Here, let's take a look. Let's see what the people have to say. So this is Chud Logic, I think, disagreeing with Ethan, and then Nick disagreeing with Ethan, agreeing with Chud Logic, and then Justin Wang agreeing with Nick agreeing with Chud Logic disagreeing with Ethan, okay? Just so you understand what's going on here. So let's just see what's going on here.
If you're a trained martial artist, world champion, you know what I mean? Like 3-time black belt, you know how to kill a man with one punch.
Now, I will say a little bit of One Punch Man. I will say that I think this is, if this is exactly the case of like what he's trying to say, then you shouldn't be even playing in the same league as these types of people. Like you shouldn't even be having sex with them. It's like, this would be more describing like why like you shouldn't have sex with minors and as an adult, and not like why you shouldn't have sex with like some adults who have the same like mental capacity as you know. I get it, but I guess I can get how you can understand it like that. Personally, I feel like I got what he said. I feel like a lot of other people got what he said, right? Do you guys get what he said, or would you, or do we have people who are like, what the hell is this man saying? I think I kind of get what he's getting at. It's not the best analogy, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, okay.
If you get into a bar fight, you cannot unleash your full fury, because if you go for like a neck throat punch and they end up dying, guess what? You're going to fucking jail. Whereas if it was someone who was untrained, you could, go crazy. You're not going to kill the guy, right?
People love being like woefully obtuse online.
You don't have to worry about holding.
What? No, what? You can still kill someone. It doesn't matter. What's he on about? This is mental. No, just to be clear, if you're a regular guy, do not just unleash fury, because you could still kill a man. If you punch someone in the throat, even if you're not a professional, they still might fucking die. This guy, what is he on about?
Back. But if you have the potential...
Irrelevant to the conversation. Got to do with the sex thing as well. This is completely irrelevant to the conversation about sex.
Of people who are highly trained martial artists. They know that. And in a way, again, I don't know if this is a stupid analogy, but it's kind of the same thing, right? If you're famous and powerful and you go out, you have this...
It's kind of the same thing. Going out and hooking up with a woman is kind of the same thing as brutally murdering a man in a bar fight because you're trained in martial arts.
Okay, then. Yeah, I don't know. I started to notice this a little bit more when I was... do you guys remember that like porn debate that we did a little while ago? I kind of started to notice this a little bit more after that porn debate. I feel like people just really like being obtuse. Personally, I think it's fun for people. Now, I'm not saying that like everybody here is just being obtuse. Like, I mean, their point isn't necessarily incredibly wrong, but I feel like just people really do like, it's just like kind of fun for them. Like you say something and then they're like, well, right. Remember when like Smokey the Bear and his wife were like, well, why don't we just hook everybody up to like a Mountain Dew drip and have them watch porn while we have dopamine channeled directly into their amygdala or something, just shit like that. And I'm like, because there's value in having experiences. And they're like, well, I mean, that's an experience, isn't it? Well, you know what I'm saying. You literally know exactly what I'm saying when I say that. And the funniest thing about it is when I would explain, like after I would like clear up the made up confusion, they would go, yes, like they already knew the answer, but they decided to be willfully ignorant anyways. It's just stupid. It's just like, this is just a waste of time. You're wasting everybody's time here by doing this. I think that's the intention. I don't know. It's just like, I know. The Matrix. Crazy. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.